Hi guys, Littleaussiemel here doing my week 18 post-op VSG update. So getting straight to the numbers, my highest recorded weight was 105 kilos or 231 pounds. My pre-op diet starting weight was 97.4 kilos or 214 pounds. This morning I weighed 76.6 kilos or 168.5 pounds. And that's a loss for the week of 0.6 kilos or 1.3 pounds. So, and a total of 28.4 kilos or 62.5 pounds. So I'm happy with 0.6 kilos. I don't even know if I deserve it, to be honest. I've just had a really crappy week with food. And I mean, it probably really wasn't that bad, but I wasn't tracking at all, so I don't really know. But I found I've had a lot of old habits creeping in the last few days, and it's kind of timely because the Back to Basics channel focused on self-sabotage this week, and some of the things that I found creeping back in were things that I recognise as my old self-sabotage behaviours. So I'm still really grateful for my sleeve, because yeah, even like a week like I had this week without it, you know, I probably would have put on 2 kilos or 4 pounds or something like that in a week, and then and beat myself up about it and just gone totally off the rails. So the things that I found myself doing this week was definitely like turning to food when I wasn't hungry, and one of the other things that I found myself doing is I actually bought some little like tiny baby Easter eggs for the kids. And I mean, it was like these little mini Kinder Surprise eggs. They're only like the teeny tiny ones, and the bag, there was maybe 10 in the bag, and the kids only got 4 of those, and I ate 6 of them. So, and I just kind of like snacked on them and thought, oh, I'll taste one, and then before I knew it, like throughout the course of the day, I'd eaten 6 of them, which isn't like that big a drama. Although when I finally sort of, you know, thought, snap out of this, like, what have you actually just eaten? And I looked at the stats, I think they were like 30 calories per egg. So yeah, so I just consumed like 200 calories of chocolate, like just mindlessly. Like I just did it without even thinking about it really. But it reminded me of the process that led me to decide that I was definitely going to do surgery, because when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's a little over 1 year old now, she, you know, you're not supposed to lose weight when you're pregnant, you're supposed to gain weight. So it was sort of a time that I could remove myself from that dieting mentality and just focus on trying to be healthy for my growing baby. And I was in the supermarket and just, you know, grabbing a couple of things, and I was standing behind an older lady, like maybe she might have been early 70s or something like that, and I just kind of looked at the things she had on the you know, on the conveyor belt waiting to pay, and she had like a non-fat milk and a diet yogurt and like all these diet Weight Watchers kind of food items, and like she was just a, you know, she wasn't a skinny person, but she wasn't obese or anything, but she had a bit of weight to lose, I guess. But I just had a moment where I looked at her and I thought, that's going to be me. I'm going to be 70 and still dieting. And I just realized that I had to do something else. I had to do something different, or that was just going to consume me for the rest of my life. So that was sort of my aha moment that people talk about. And then So I signed up for my private health insurance, I think that week. So So I knew I had to, you know, over here you have to have the private insurance for 12 months before you're eligible for weight loss surgery. So I knew I had time to kind of, you know, I had to have my baby and recover from that, you know, for a fair while before I had the surgery anyway. So I sort of put my name down, and then I thought, you know, when I've had my baby, I'll have one last go at dieting myself and see if, you know, if I can make it work with, you know, knowing in my mind that I was sort of on the waiting list for surgery. And yeah, and so it was last Easter that I remember doing the same thing. Like I was in the middle of, so I was still waiting for my surgery, kind of like waiting list to be up, and I'd had my baby, and I was doing the Michelle Bridges 12-week body transformation thingy. She's like the Biggest Loser trainer for Australia, and she's got a really popular program. And yeah, and I was like halfway through that, and I did the same thing. I'd bought Easter eggs like way earlier than I needed to, knowing that it would just be a temptation to have in the house, and, you know, trying to kid myself that I was just being prepared for Easter. And yeah, and just found myself digging into a bag of those mini little Easter eggs. And except back then, I think, you know, I hate to think how many eggs I would have eaten. And yeah, and I think that was really the moment that I realised that yeah, that I needed, that I, you know, how glad I was that I put myself down on that waiting list for the surgery, because I just, yeah, I just could not seem to get it to work, you know, and I would, you know, do so well for a while, and then I would just undo all my hard work with this mindless eating. So it was a bit scary for me actually this week to see some of those things coming back. And I kind of noticed it, and then I would resolve in my mind the next day to start tracking and, you know, get back on track, and then the next day would come and I wouldn't track, and I would be, yeah, just doing these same old things of eating the wrong food. So yeah, so anyway, so last night I kicked myself in the ass, and I got yeah, I'd had a pretty crappy food day and was feeling a bit flat about it, and I just thought, and stuff it. So I put on my sneakers, got on the treadmill, and put on some awesome music, and yeah, and had a really good workout. So now I'm definitely feeling re-motivated to get back on track. So yeah, and today I'm going to track and just, yeah, try and focus. I mean, I was doing really well early on with recognising those bad behaviours and distracting myself with things, and then I've just sort of forgotten about all my own advice that I've been giving other people. So hopefully this will be a good week for me. I do have a hens night coming up on Saturday night. That's like a bachelorette party. So so there's going to be a lot of drinking this weekend. So I don't know how that will reflect my way in next week, but that's, you know, even more of a reason to really dig in and focus this week. The other thing that I've found really weird lately is just not knowing where I fit in, like with how I look. So like I feel like I'm probably annoying people on the street because I'm just really looking at people's bodies and analysing people's body shapes and how tall are they and how much do I think they weigh, and it's like I put a photo on Facebook of like, you know, side by side of me in 2006 versus me today, and when I look at that photo, it's like I look at the fat photo and I think, oh, that was a really bad photo of me. Like, yeah, I was heavy, but, you know, that was just a particularly bad photo. And then I look at the photo of me today and I think, oh, that's just a really good, you know, like a skinny kind of looking photo, and that I don't really look like that either. So a few people have talked about this recently, and yeah, so I just really don't know. Like I'm constantly looking at other people and saying to my husband, is my body like hers, or am I that fat, or am I that skinny, or you know, it's like I just can't yeah, it's like, I've seen some things where they actually line up women like at all the different sizes in their underwear, and they get people to rank like put the ladies, they just line them up from the smallest to the biggest, and then they ask people to actually stand in the queue where they think they belong, and generally the people were putting themselves at one or two sizes bigger than they really were. The occasional lady got it right and stood where she belonged, but generally it was not accurate. So I guess the thing I need to focus on is that photos can lie, but clothes can't. So I had an NSV like 2 weeks ago now, where I went shopping to the actual like real shops, like Maya here, which is like a high-end department store, and I actually bought a size 10 top. So I think that's a size 6 US. It was the only one of the day that was that size. All the other stuff I tried on that day was more like a size 12 or an 8 US. But it was like I can't believe in that size 10 either. Like I was thinking to myself, oh, that must be a one-off. And same with like I had one pair of size 14 jeans, which is a size 10 US, that I fitted into a while ago, but that was the only size 14 that I had. So in my mind, I just thought that if I went to a shop and tried on like more pants of that size, that they wouldn't actually fit, because it was just, like, it must be some reason why that 14 fit, like it must be a big make or something. So I made myself go and try on pants on Thursday, and and every size 14 pants I tried on fit me. So so I did a little happy dance in the change room, and it just takes a while to sink in, I guess. So I just have to remind myself that the clothes aren't lying to me. Like, the size is what it is. It doesn't care. It's so I just have to remember that is my size, I guess, until the rest of me catches up. And I suppose the trouble is that because the sizes are we're changing sizes so frequently, I'll probably just get used to being a size 14, and then I'll be too small for it. So very strange, but I'm sure you all understand what I'm yabbering on about. Anyway, I think that's all I've got for today. So yeah, hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.